A new chapter has begun at Twitter, and for half the people who work there, they will not be part of it. They were let go today, finding out by email that they no longer have a job. Les Trent on the bewilderment amongst Twitter workers and what it all means for Twitter itself.
I've been fired from Twitter. Now, I do have to say something, all right? I did not receive a severance package. Elon himself on Twitter stated that anyone who lost their job at Twitter was being given a severance package that is, I think he said 50% better than what is required by the industry. Okay? 50% better. So, I'm expecting this. I'm hoping I'm maybe in the mail, or maybe they're going to do what express mail, verified mail. Maybe I'm going to get a package to explain what I'm getting, because I'll tell you right now, I'm very upset that everyone else seems to have gotten this package and not me. I'm thinking of maybe joining in maybe like a class action lawsuit. I've heard there's a few of these. Actually, this part of the story is not false. Elon's getting sued out the ass because he's an idiot, all right? He fired all these people and didn't check the employment law. And coming to find out there's an employment law says he can't do that. That if you're going to mass fire employees, you have to notify them 60 days in advance so they have 2 months to look for another job. He didn't do that because he's a complete jackass idiot. And when he did this, he violated the law so badly that they're smacking him so quickly with the lawsuit, there's like no way he can win it. The only way they're saying that he could possibly avoid the lawsuit is if he recontacts the people he just fired and says, oh, I'm going to keep paying you for 2 months even though you're not working here anymore. In which case, he's completely undermining what the reason he fired them to begin with. He fired them all because he needs that money for operational costs to keep the business working. If he has to still pay them for 2 more months to avoid being sued, then it undermines the reason he fired them to begin with. You see? So, yeah, it doesn't matter what he says or does to try to justify anything. He's going to lose the suit, and he's in trouble. He didn't look at anything. He basically just said, oh, I can do whatever I want. And, yeah, you can't. There's laws against it. Okay, there really is. So, anyway, I'm very upset. All right? I thought that I was a cherished employee. I thought that Twitter really cared about me and my input on a daily basis. Just recently, I just here on my podcast told you guys, constructive input. All right? Constructive input about how they can improve this $8 a month subscription service for the blue check mark, stating that I will do that if they add added value. If it's just to keep the check mark, then it's not worth it. But if you're going to give me added features that will help my business on Twitter, like, for example, maybe the ability to have more characters in my tweets. I can do longer tweets than everyone else. That would be a great example of something that I would pay for. So my constructive feedback apparently has gone unheeded, and they've thrown me to the curb. Now, don't worry, everyone. I just want to tell you, don't worry. This is not the first time this has happened to me. I've been through this before, this experience. I've been thrown out, kicked to the curb, and I land on my feet. I'm not going to let this beat me. I'm not going to let this get me down. I promise you that I'm going to continue on, striving to be the best social media employee possible. I'm looking at a few other options, right? Like, who else would want someone of my stature to be part of their workforce? Perhaps TikTok, We'll see. I think about this, Maybe one of those fringe social media networks for when you got kicked off of every other one, you go there. Maybe I'll work there. Anyway, for those of you who maybe are watching this segment and you're like, what the hell is Phil talking about? Did you look at the picture yet? Do you see something a little weird on the left-hand side? Not the far left, but look at one to the right of the upper left picture. So this is funny. Here's why this is funny. Okay? This kind of shit has been going on for ages. All right? One of the classic situations where this used to happen at back in the day was the Howard Stern show. Now, Howard Stern is a radio host, and of course, he's done other things like movies, television shows, but he's been primarily known for his radio show. He had a group of pranksters who he employed to try to pull shit like this all the time. So whenever there was hot news going on, they would call into a news station to falsely report news, like a false eyewitness report, right? And then at the end of their report, they go, oh yeah, by the way, Baba Booey, Howard Stern's penis. And then they would hang up. So then the news reporter would be like, what the hell just happened? I don't know. What was that? I don't know. And they'd all be like flabbergasted. They have no idea what just happened. Okay? So this has been going on for so long. And the fact that in 2022, that they're still pulling this and people are falling for it is insanely laughable. This is supposed to be a reputable news channel. This is supposed to be a channel that you watch every day, right? For not only celebrity gossip, but for more important news as well. And they don't vet their information at all. This just proves it. Someone just said they work for Twitter. You just put their fucking their face on the front. If anything, I'm flattered. Here's why I'm flattered. They actually felt that my picture was good looking enough to put on their show. That's remarkable. Because I don't think that I am attractive enough to be on an Inside Edition in any capacity. And they actually hand-selected me to be one of their employees. If you take a look, everyone else up there is pretty diverse. Take a look at everyone up there. In fact, take a look, the woman to the left of me there, an African-American. To the right, I can't tell what ethnicity they are to the right of me there. But everyone else there, right, is pretty diverse. I am the representation of the middle-aged white man, I guess, when it comes to Inside Edition. Yes, this is real. People are like, that's real. I didn't Photoshop that. This is real. This was on the show. This is on their, I think this is on their YouTube page right now. Yeah. You know? So anyway, this is the point I'm making is they actually selected me out of all the specimens of the planet to stand out and be on their show. This is the representation of the man, the average middle-aged man who has been laid off from Twitter. Here he is. Wow. I guess I just got that kind of, I just got laid off face, don't I? Certainly, like I said, certainly not the first time it's happened to me. I've been through the ringer. Let me tell you though, that's not the face I made when I got laid off. When I got laid off, I was sad as shit. You can even see the video. I have a video from 2010. That was, when I got laid off, my first reactions to it and everything. But, yeah, there you go. So, I am very upset that I've lost my position of stature and my employment over on Twitter. It is upsetting. Whenever you lose any kind of employment, it's very upsetting. I had many opportunities over there, and they're all gone now because Mr. Musk treated me so poorly. Like I said, I didn't get a severance package, so I guess I'll try to sue him or something. By the way, just so you know, this is all parody. Not the fact that they used my picture, because they absolutely did, because they're idiots. I mean, how dumb can you be? You have to be fucking brain dead to fucking do something like that and not vet it. But, I mean, it's a tabloid television show. What do you think? They're smart? Do you think the people at TMZ and fucking Inside Edition, do you think they have any brains in their heads? Come on now. I mean, geez. There's a certain kind of person who watches that shit. They deserve it. If they believe that nonsense, they kind of deserve it. But, so, all that being said, it is what it is. And I'm very upset. And I am looking for restitution. I'm coming for Mr. Musk. The sad fact is, even if someone directly sued him and won, it would probably be like 0.000000000000000000001% of his wealth that you would win in the court case. Yeah. So I say, why do you think Elon Musk acts the way he does? Because he can get away with it because he's filthy rich. If he wasn't immune to anything because he was so rich, he would actually not act like this. But when you have a human who feels that they don't answer to anyone, there's no consequences for anything they do, they will act like this. I mean, get perfect example. He was at a party many years ago, and he tweeted out about stock valuations at $4.20. He was making a $4.20 joke to impress his friends at the party, and the entire market shifted because he tweeted this, to which he got into trouble with the SEC, and they kicked him off the board of the company that he was tweeting about. So he was no longer able to have any financial involvement with that company because they basically said, you're an irresponsible jackass. You don't understand that what you do can actually change the markets. So here's a penalty, and you're off the board. But did it affect him? No. He was completely immune to any true repercussions. You think he'd give a shit? No. And this is the thing. When you're so rich, you're immune to anything. He's bulletproof. So why the fuck does he care what happens, right? I wouldn't be surprised if the entire buyout of Twitter was a joke to begin with. It was meant to be a joke. Watch, look what I can do. Look who I am, because I'm Mr. Invincible. Mr. Omnipotent. I can just do whatever I want. I'll just buy Twitter. Fuck him. And then he did. Now he has no idea what to do with it. But, you know, I almost guarantee it's what it was, right? Anyway, I'm upset. You can send your condolences to darksidephil@hotmail.com. Say how sad you are for me.